All right. I first want to say thank you for having me. And Steve, my brother Steve, talking about those times that we sat and how many hours did we put in. I remember one day Steve had heard a news report about, was it a woman or a man who threw her kids off the pier? And I remember you looked at me and you said, how how do we get to them before that happens? I don't know if you realize this, but that had a profound impact on me because it's what pushed me out the door of the church. Not in a bad way. It pushed me out into caring more about something else, something bigger than myself. I want to thank you for that. Your pastor, his wife Tanya, are two beautiful people with two beautiful hearts. Gracefully broken. That's gracefully broken is the same word. I'm not used to technology, guys, so bear with me. I'll get it right. I gotta stop breathing apparently. Uh, I'll figure it out. I'm not used to this. I'm used to. Matter of fact, I was down in the dorm this morning teaching the guys, and there's no AC in these dorms, and they got. Um, it's like I don't know. Put 12 airboats in a room and try to talk, and that's what it feels like. But you have a choice. You can turn off the air and soak, or you can try to scream over the fans. So I'll get this yet. Um, I would like to share with you something that me and my class has been working with. One of the things I do at Century Corrections is to teach, and I want to share something that we went over just a couple weeks ago. It's Luke chapter 6, verse 27. But I say to you who hear, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those that curse you. And pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other also. And for him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and for him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those for whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies. Do good, lend, hoping for nothing in return. And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the unthankful and the evil. As someone, as a small child who was a victim of sexual abuse, for most of my lifetime, my enemy was those who would do such things. That was my enemy. And for a long time, I'm not afraid to say that I didn't want nothing good for them. So it was kind of a shock when God drew me into a prison. The very first person that I met, first inmate I met in the prison was a 20-time offender. The very first person I met. And I remember I was warned as I was walking up to him. And I remember my body tensed up. I thought, wait a minute, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. But you know what happened? The weirdest thing happened. I walked up to the man and I hugged him. To this day, I don't know why I did that. But it changed me. It changed, it gave me, it let me know who I was going to be in this service. You know, I, like my brother Steve, always going to push you to use your heart, because that's our tool. You know, this knowledge is wonderful. It gives us direction and purpose and understanding. But the truth is, sometimes you got to put this down and walk. You got to go do it. You can't wait for it to come to you. Guess what? If you wait for your enemies to come to you, it's not going to be pretty. As of 2019, this is federal prison numbers. As of 2019, over 1.4 million inmates are held in state or federal prisons or county jails. 93% are male. Education programs decrease returns to prison. Substance abuse programs decrease the returns to prison. Inmates who get the GED are 8.7% less likely to come back. Inmates with vocational certificates are 14% less likely to come back. The majority of inmates in the United States prison system grade out at a 5th grade level. Teaching is important. And in prison ministry, it's not just sharing the gospel. I teach a Florida-based program called Communication and Anger. Help guys. Man, I've taught that a couple times, and I remember when they asked me to do it, they're like, would you like to teach us? It's a core class. And I said, okay. I realized real quick that God sent me to teach something that I needed to learn. And I'm sorry if I pace. That's my thing. It's my thing. That's what I do. The guys at the prison are always, Charlie, watch out. You're going to trip. Don't. You're going to fall. Trip. But I'll try not to fall. From a Christian perspective, inmates are constantly being recruited or converted to other religions. It's like a game. Who can control the dorm? Who can control the highest growing religion in the prison system is Muslim. And unfortunately, it comes from extremist versions of Muslims, like Nation of Islam. Extremist views, or just for the record, Protestants are the second highest growing. We're still doing it. We're not giving up. Okay? Extremist religious views are common. And not just in the Muslim faith, also in the Christian faith. Faith, in many cases, has turned into it's a gang theology. Immediately what these men want to do when they get in is find a group. Safety in numbers. It's what we all do. They want to find a group to get into, to watch over them. What they find too often is the very group that they got into is the problem. They're the ones that's going to abuse them the most. You've all heard of stories, I'm sure, of the things that go on in prison, and I'm not going to go into those. But rape is a real thing. It's an everyday thing. I, myself, am in Century Corrections. It's a maximum security prison. Stabbings are common, usually gang-related. I don't say that to scare you, because I also want to tell you this. The state of Florida and the state of Alabama are very pro, what's the word I'm looking for, coming in and doing this, volunteers. They want us there. They have steps and rules and things to keep you safe. Okay? I tell you this because I want you to know what a prison is. We all know that it's where the bad people go, right? From a Christian perspective, it's a very, very, very dark place. Very dark. We are the light. And let me tell you, as the light, when you walk into, even if you're a new Christian, to walk into a place of darkness, you can see your light shine. You can see it. You can see it. Even the people that don't want nothing to do with me, inmates don't want nothing to do with me, will show me a certain amount of respect. I still ask myself why, but I think I know. It's light in the darkness. A 2010 article from the FBI Law Enforcement Bulletin argues that prisons provide a captive audience of disaffected young men easily influenced by charismatic extremist leaders. That is true. You know what these guys want? I want to tell you now, I want to talk about it from a personal perspective, from what I see every day. I myself, in Century Corrections, in 2018, they started a faith-based initiative. They dedicated a dorm to it. Faith-based, faith and honor-based. It was unique in the state of Florida for a maximum security prison. That program right now is so successful that they come get our inmates, bring them to other prisons, start that program in other prisons. I have been humbled that God has chosen me to do what I do. I am a mentor. I have a mentorship program first and foremost. I teach as well, but the teaching is an opportunity for me to mentor these guys in this dorm. I started in that dorm, was brand new, and it was disorganized. Now it's double-sided, full program. The state is adapting it all over the state. Being a mentor has put me really close to the men. Really close. I hear their stories. I hear where they came from. I hear when their dad dies, their mom dies. Do you know what it's like? And for you men, you guys will understand me. You know what it's like to know your mother is dying and you can do nothing about it? You know what it's like when your mother is dying and you know your mother tried her best to keep you out of there? Some will say, well, he deserves it. I say, does he? Does he? One of the biggest problems that I face on a regular basis Men come to me, and they're getting ready to go out. They're getting ready to leave, and they got nowhere to go. That's the biggest problem that I've seen in the 8 years I've done this. They have nowhere to go. Their family either does not exist, or they have disowned them. Their friends, it's the last place I want them to go. That's how they got there in the first place. And yes, you are who you hang around with. If you're around them long enough, you will become them. But these men come to me and they're like, Charlie, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to roof over my head. I got to pay my probation. I got to have a place to live, or they're going to bring me right back to jail. There are programs around the country, in the state of Florida and Alabama, but they're very few, and they're often overloaded. And oftentimes they charge money. Guys coming out of prison don't have no money. And just last week, I know the guy, he's getting out this week. He got out last week, and he come to me a week before. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago. And he come to me a week before in tears, stressed. He was shaking. And this is a guy I had been working with for a couple years now, and I've seen such great progress. He didn't know anything about God when he walked in there. See, our faith honor dorm is if you earn the right, and yes, you have to earn the right to be there. If you earn the right, you can be there. Well, when they get in there, they get exposed to the different religions. When he first came to me, he didn't know anything about God. Nothing. Zero. What he seen on TV, maybe. He didn't know anything. I got to watch this man not only go from a man who didn't know anything about God to a guy that gives glory to God every single day. When I walked into a prison, the first thing I tell these guys when I mentor them is, I don't have any sympathy. I'm sorry. I'm a person who believes if we make our bed, we have to lie in it. But I'm loaded full of empathy. So, what do I do? What do we do in those situations? Pray that God will find a way for these men and women coming out of prison to have a place to continue what they started. Some more stories. When I first, probably my second year there, had an old guy come in. They sent him into my mentoring. And he sat in there, and he'd come in there, and he sat down and didn't want to talk to nobody. Says, do I have to be here? And I said, yeah, you're required to be here. And you're going to be here until I let you go. I said, I got you for 2 hours. I want to look on his face. Grumpy. I called him Grumpy Face every time I see him. Mr. Grumpy Face. Mr. Grumpy Face. Oh, here's Mr. Grumpy Face. Well, he come in that day, and he sat down in my office, and he was following his Messianic Jew, okay? Didn't know really anything about Jesus. Just another inmate who came in and grabbed on to the nearest group. Well, we got to talking, and, and I shared Jesus with him, who I see Jesus as. And long story short, 2 hours later, he was smiling, laughing, and we hugged, and he walked out the door. A week later, we had a graduation ceremony, which we do twice a year for those who graduate the Faith Dorm program. I had walked into the chapel, and the chapel was full. It was probably about 100 and 120 people in there, 120 inmates in there. And I had walked in there, and I'm all the way on one side of this chapel, and I see him come through the door. And the dude had a glow on him. I could see from across the room. He couldn't wait to get to me and tell me, thank you. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me who Jesus was. And before he ever got to me, I said, I already know. I can see it. I already know. I told him later, I said, I miss my grumpy face, kind of. I'm so used to having it. I don't know what to do anymore. It could have been, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, he had a health episode and they took him to the hospital. And he was still kind of, he had found Jesus, but he was still kind of finding Jesus from a Messianic Jew's perspective. So he coming in this hospital, and he had his prayer shawl on. And he was in this hospital, and he had the prayer shawl on, and lo and behold, there was a Jewish man right next to him who gave him who let him know what it meant to be Jewish, and what that prayer shawl meant. And grumpy face, he said when he went to sleep that night, he had a dream. And Jesus had come to him. He said, Jesus just smiled. He said he didn't say nothing to him. He just stood before him and smiled. And I said, see, he don't like your grumpy face either. So a week later, roughly a week after that, I get the news that he died in the hospital. It was such an amazing journey with this man. To see where he come, where he was going. They need us. They need all of us. Excuse you. You know, I would say this. I can go on and on and on with stories and stories. Good, bad, terrible, horrible, sad, but also very beautiful. It's a very humbling experience. If you ever decide you're interested in it, it'll humble you like no other. Gracefully broken. Gracefully broken. And that's what it'll do to you. It'll break you. It'll break you down and humble you maybe like you've never been humbled before. I would have to ask, does anybody have any questions or thoughts on it that you would share with me? No? Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that because everybody's bad. Nobody's good. That's Jesus' words himself. Nobody's good but the Father. And it's funny because this morning in class, one of the guys brought that up, that how many people that judge us that just didn't get caught. I'm the first one to put my hand up. I said, yeah, I get you, I got you. But nobody's good. You know, you don't even realize how much that helps me. See, it may sound crazy, but if you don't see people as good, then, well, your expectations get tamped way down. You'll see life through humble eyes if you understand you're not good. As Christians, we're just trying to be better. We're not good. How is sin defined? Falls short of the glory of God. What is the glory of God? It is Jesus. So unless we are in line with him, we are not good and we are sinners. that anybody that takes that ideology and truly believes in it can make a difference in this world outside these walls. We're in a time now where uh, politics is doing everything it can to divide us. Okay? But truth is, politics are not going to save us. Politics are not going to fix us. I don't care who you vote for. It's not going to fix us. The only way we're going to fix us is to get into our communities. That's it. It's really not, as they say, rocket science. If you want your community better, then get out there and do something, right? Push yourself to don't put, when it comes time to vote, vote. But other than that, if you want to fix things, fix them. You'll be surprised how far a little love will go. I mean, it goes so far. The amount of love and respect those guys show me, not because I'm anything special, because I'm not. Not because I got it all together, because I don't. The love they show me is because they recognize why I'm there. And I in class, I do this every class. The first way for us to share the gospel is in our walk, right? Okay, and what is the fruit of that walk? What is the fruit? The fruit of the Spirit is what? It's love. So that's what people are going to see. Before you start, it's not our job to save people. God does that. We plant the seed. But before we plant the seed, we want fertile ground. Right? I can scream out, Jesus will save you across the compound. And many of them want, we don't care. But when they see me, every day, walking out exactly what I say, everything I teach them to do, I do. I teach these guys to do what you like, what you see is right in the world, and don't do what you don't see is right. It's really not hard. It's simple, and you can start with something. I tell them, when I first went to a church, and I didn't know anything about, whether I wanted to be saved or if there was a God. I remember walking up to that church and kind of looking up in the air and going, all right, God, if you exist, now is your time. And he did, by the way. He did in a profound way. But I remember when I got to the front door, there was 3 old guys. And I say old, I was in my 30s at the time. And they were like, hey, good to see you, man. Glad to see you in the family. Come on in. There's some cookies or some coffee. Come on in. I remember, I liked that. That was cool. I liked that. Now, I don't know, we were members, 8 years? And within a couple years, I never talked to those guys again. I didn't like that. I don't know what happened. It's like we were so friendly, and all of a sudden now you barely talk to me. In their defense, I was in my 30s, they were in their 70s, just in defense. But the point is the same. Every day that I'm at that prison, guys come in and out of the chapel, whether I'm down in the dorm, I'm walking through the compound, or they come into our chapel for different services. I'm at that door. For the past 8 years, I'm at that door. Hey, good to see you, brother. And then when they leave, God bless you, have a great day. God bless you, have a great day. I don't miss an opportunity. I've gone in for the sole purpose of being able to shake their hand. It's that easy. Oh goodness, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't know a lot, but here's what I do know. They believe in Yeshua as the Messiah, but they also believe in the law. Okay, that's the simple answer. It's still, what I mean by believe in the law, they still have to follow the law. and they miss the point of grace. They don't get that part. They're still, I guess you could say they're still Christians. I don't want to get too deep into that. You'd have to look that up on your own. But what I understand is it's basically they're kind of, it's a mixture between Christianity and Judaism. That's probably the best way to one of the most extreme groups we have are Hebrew Israelites. Ooh, them's rough. They believe they're very extreme. They want death to the white people. It's very extreme. We also deal with Wicca, Odinism, which I find humorous. We got all there's religions I think they just make up as they go. But the biggest threat, I guess, is that they bounce back and forth. They go from this one to this one, wherever they think they can get an advantage. They bounce back and forth. But see, that's awesome, because here's the thing. When somebody finds Christ, or shall I say when Christ finds him, they realize really quickly this is not the same. Christ in our lives is not the same. You know, I got nothing but respect for everybody's walk. You got to make your own walk. You got to take your own path. Even the Hebrew Israelites hug me when they see me. Not because they agree with me, not because they believe in me. I don't even know if they like me. But they have some kind of respect for me. And it's because of the guy that stands in the door every day. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're worshiping. Hey, I love you, brother. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're working to be better. I don't care about the rest of that stuff. So, I guess, let me close out with this. I am an associate of We Care Prison Ministries. We Care originally helped me get in the door years ago. We Care is based in Atmore. It's a totally nonprofit. It's basically a chaplaincy program where volunteer chaplains go into the state's primary. Alabama they have a huge footprint. It's a growing footprint in the state of Florida. But as a chaplaincy group, I brought some information. If you're interested, grab one of these. These are all different things about some of the things we're doing, some stories, what's going on. Some good guys. Some of these pictures are really good guys. A lot of these are Mennonites, and they got like 18 kids. I tell them all the time, I said, brother, I don't know how you do it, man. You're 30 years old and you got 7 kids. My goodness, I barely survived 3. But yeah, there's information here. If you're interested, you know anybody's interested. This little newsletter, you can sign up for it, get it mailed to you for free. So if you're interested, check that out. They're a good organization. I'm really proud to be a part of them. They're loving. They really care about what they do. You can directly support We Care. You need to get their address, which is on the back, but you can directly support them that way. This information will probably tell you, I didn't read the whole thing, but it tells you different things they do. This one here is if you want to donate to We Care, to me through We Care for my ministry, you're welcome to. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah, when I was in the state of Alabama, yeah, we could gather up. Guys in prison don't get deodorant unless they pay for it, if you don't know that. And if you work with them, you're gonna learn that real quick. Especially in July and August, which I'm coming out of, trust me, you want them to have deodorant, okay? But yeah, the state of Florida is different. And I'm also, because I'm in a maximum security. It can be done, but you literally have to jump through a lot of hoops. You got to have like 6 different people. Okay. Um, yes. Yes. The best way to do that is through me or We Care. Um, I typically, I have a group of people who in Flomaton Church who have supported me for many years. They just keep giving money. I've used that money to buy them basketballs, footballs for the yard. Um, I've helped them buy equipment for their music, their guitar strings, for their worship teams. Um, so yeah, all that money is for, a lot of it goes to help them that way. Um, so uh, that is one way. Again, the prison you're in is going to make a difference. But We Care I'm sure you guys are familiar with We Care secondhand stores. We Care secondhand stores is a big part of how they get their funding. Okay, so that's shop at We Care. And they're building a new one, and I don't know if you guys know this, they're building a big new one over in Atmore, a big giant one. They just broke ground for it a few months back. But that's a great way to support them. Just go, look, that's what I wear. Most of my clothes come from We Care. Either they gave them to me or that's where she shops. So, yeah, that's a great way to support them. Um, you know what else is a great way to support them? And I'll close out with prayer. Prayer. Don't forget that there are people out there who need your prayers all the time. All the time. It never ceases. Um, Remember, you can pray away the dark. Don't forget that. All right? Let me close this out in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for